A very good evening to all of you from my country, where it is shortly before midnight, or still the 14th of January of the current Gregorian year 2024. I crave leave to extend my most cordial, heartfelt, humble, respectful and sincere greetings to all of you. Before I proceed any further, I crave leave to extend my heartfelt and most respectful congratulations with all due regards His Majesty King Frederick the 10th of Denmark. I also crave leave to congratulate the President-elect of Taiwan for his success. Indeed, while extending my warmest greetings, I'm also compelled to recall the day 100 days ago, that horrific and horrendous day, when the terrorist group Hamas trespassed onto certain areas inhabited by the Jewish population within the state of Israel, massacring, of course, murdering or slaughtering, violating, kidnapping innocent citizens of the state of Israel. This is a day which I am compelled to remember, even some 100 days later. However, at this very moment, I'm also morally duty-bound, even based upon true humanity, to regret the deaths of the innocent people in the so-called Judea and Samaria, also known as Gaza. Those innocent people who died brought also sadness and tragedy into my heart, particularly in the light of the fact that they themselves were innocent, at least in action, if not passively. The word passively becomes considerably important because I cannot believe, I decline to believe, that when the underground tunnels were constructed below their houses and homes, even below those hospitals, people did not notice anything, not even the tremors which ought to have caused while such tunnels were constructed beneath them. This day is a very tragic day, as it was some 100 days ago, not merely for the people of Israel, but also for the peace-loving population, the peace-loving peoples of the whole world. This was a day which ought to be remembered, because this was the day which triggered an additional war. In addition to the war which is being fought even today in Eastern Europe. I share the grief of the people who lost their loved ones. I share their pains in my heart. But at the same time, I cannot blame a nation state which does its utmost, even acting very, very seriously in defense of its own people, or I should say states, which act very, very seriously in defense of their own peoples as the nations in plural. I indeed remain very concerned about the rest of the world. What will the election result, or results in plural perhaps, bring during this year in various countries of the world, including Taiwan, which elected, and I believe prudently and wisely, a leader to protect its democracy. I was very fortunate, and indeed I remain grateful to be born into a country which still theoretically is called the largest democracy in the world. All those countries and states, even those of the United Nations, which believe in true democracy, ought to respect, indeed with all due regards and honor, those states which propose democracy, enhanced democracy, and try to oppose autocratical, tyrannical regimes wherever they may be. Perhaps it may be far-fetched, but I believe it may be wise at the same time. For the other remaining countries of the world, the states, even those of the member states of the United Nations Organization, to join the alliance, currently known as Quadra Alliance, which consists currently of Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. We all should learn to appreciate the value of democracy and oppose all the tyrannical powers, even the dictatorial ones. Perhaps even those dictatorial powers which claim to be in power even for a single day, as it was recently highlighted by a well-known politician in a certain country, in a very powerful state of the world. Democracy should not be undermined, nor should it be endangered, because some people believe that autocratical rules, even if they were tyrannical, they were better than democratical rules, or I should say, rules by the government elected democratically anywhere in the world. This is a day we must remember. We must therefore also respect a democratic state in the Middle East, perhaps the only democratic state in the Middle East. I am referring to none other than the very state of Israel. This is a day which is not merely a day which brings happiness to me when I venture, with all due respect, to congratulate His Majesty, the King of Denmark, and His Excellency, the President-elect of Taiwan. But at the same time, I also venture to share the grief and the enormously unbearable pains of the people of Israel and the Middle East who lost their dear ones. This is the pain which I crave leave to share with all of you, my fellow global citizens, even this very night, crossing from the 14th of January or I should say, into the 15th of January. While I bid all of you the protection of the same Almighty God who created all of us, even those victims and all those who mourn them, even at this very moment. We need to remember, indeed, that we are human beings, but only worthy of our human births but only if, we try to help those in need, in greater need than ourselves. Therefore I bid you a very solemn night, even from my country, where it is just past midnight.